For the past year and a half, I feel like we've been trying to figure out whether or not Andre Dillard is that guy at left tackle. With Jordan Mailata having what some call a breakout year last year, showing that he can really move to anywhere on that offensive line and be successful, it put a lot of doubts on Andre Dillard. But today, seeing him at his media, seeing him talk, it felt like a different him. Felt like he was confident, felt like he was sure of what he was saying, and dare I say, it sounds like he's ready for a fight.
Yeah, fly was flying on the team, touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird game nation, baby, it's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling with Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog, or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season head, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco, thanks for tuning in.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast, man. So today I want to talk about Andre Dillard. I mean, he did just speak with the media. So, well, when I'm recording this, he just spoke to the media. And he sounded good. He sounded like he is ready for this season. So before we get into all the, nitty gritty of it, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it with a friend, hit that notification bell, do all those good internet things. You know what I'm saying? A good deed a day keeps, I don't know, something's going to be kept away. So what do I want to talk about Andre Dillard for? Andre Dillard, to me, has been the wild card on this offensive line really all season, all off season, all last year. Last year was supposed to be the year that he kind of proved to us that he was ready to be that number one guy to take over for Jason Peters. Obviously, he got hurt before the season even could start, so kind of derailed those plans. But now he's back. He's saying that he's stronger than ever. A quote that I love that he said was, he feels like a different person. He even called out Jordan Mailata and said he's ready to compete with Jordan Mailata. So look, I know it's lip service. At the end of the day, people are going to say that, right? You have to be confident in yourself. But one thing that was lacking with Andre Dillard was that veracity, I felt like. Was that hunger? Was that fire? And it might seem small to a lot of people, but to me, I listen to a lot of people talk. I, do interviews. So it's like when you hear little, it's not so much what people say, but how they say it sometimes. He could have just said, I'm ready to go out there and fight for my job or compete. He knows who he has to be. He's not blind to the fact that Jordan Mailata came in and made a name for himself. So for him to say, I'm ready to compete with Jordan Mailata, says a lot to me. It says that he's aware of who he is right now, aware of his situation right now. I've said this from jump, and I'm not just saying this now because I heard him talk and I'm hyped. I've said this before. I really do think it is in the best interest of the Eagles for Andre Dillard to win that left tackle. And it's not because I think that he's otherworldly at the position or he's so much better than Jordan Mailata. I think that if at worst they're the same, I feel more comfortable with Jordan Mailata moving around and being that swing tackle. Now, we're in a situation where we can realistically, if Andre Dillard is the same as Jordan Mailata, we can go ahead and move on from Andre Dillard. Like, there's nothing holding us back from that. And it might not be for the first round that we gave up for him, but it might be something pretty decent. But, at the end of the day, solid tackle play is, that was bars right there. But at the end of the day, solid tackle play is probably the most important outside of your quarterback. Your offensive line is everything in this league. So if we went out there and said, listen, Andre Dillard is available, I'm sure that our phones would not, be dry. I'm sure that somebody would call us, somebody would be interested. And like I said, it might not be the best deal, but I'm sure it would be a deal. Someone would want to get their hands on him. But I'm not looking at that. I realistically am looking at him to come in here and fight for that job, man. I think best case scenario, we have Andre Dillard at that left tackle spot. We have Lane Johnson at that right tackle spot. And we have Jordan Mailata, who is still very young, and he can still learn a lot. I think that he moved very quickly, and shout out to Stoutland, he moved very quickly. Like, nobody thought when we picked him in the 7th round that Jordan Mailata here, 3 years later, maybe 4 years later, is a real viable option at that starting left tackle spot. I mean, 5 years ago, he never touched a football. So It's incredible the leaps and bounds that this man has taken, but I still feel as though he can look. If Andre Dillard can give us one very good year, and we say to ourselves next year, listen, now he's got pretty high, value. We got Jordan. We really feel good with Jordan. Let's move on from this kid. That's something you can do because Andre Dillard is coming up into his contract year. So either whether it's you want to, hold on to him for a year and then just let him go, whether it's you want to trade him, I think that there's value in having Andre Dillard on this team. And like I said, if he can pull that starting job out, that is huge for us as a team. That is very big for us. But I'm excited. I really am excited. Like I felt like he was going to be a little bit more with his head down. I mean, this offensive line, if anything, has gotten stronger, in my opinion. We're healthy now. That's one. You add LaRaven Clark, you add a Landon Dickerson. Obviously, Jordan Mailata has, proven to be who we all hoped he could one day be. And, like I said, he's still got a lot of ceiling to go. But looking at it from Andre Dillard's perspective, you left last year with a pretty much guaranteed left tackle position. You come back and you might not have a position on this O-line. You might not have a spot on this roster. And I think that's a little bit more far-fetched that he just wouldn't make the roster, but it's possible. You've come to a different team now. We are a totally different team, totally different coaching staff. So I hope that Andre Dillard's newfound confidence will help him this offseason and will, elevate his play. And at the end of the day, I hope it elevates everybody around him as well. But I know Jordan Mailata is coming for him, so it's going to be fun to watch. Look, and shout out to all these Cowboy fans out here talking about they got the best O-line, the best D-line. Delusion. That's all I gotta say. Delusion, right? All right, that's all I gotta say. But other than that, man, I just wanted to come here and tell you about that. But y'all, let me know, where do you guys think this battle's gonna end up? Do you like what Andre Dillard was talking? Do you think he'll come back and take that spot from Jordan Mailata, or is it Jordan Mailata all the way and that's it? You let me know in the comments. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace.
What's up, everybody? It's B. Scott with the Philadelphia Eagles, running back number 35, and I just want to encourage you guys to go and support and follow my guy Joe Castro on his YouTube/podcast channel. It's called Philly Philly, the podcast starring Joe Castro. You can find it at Philly Philly TP on Instagram, on Twitter, and for any updates. But be sure to go out and show them some love. Fly Eagles Fly. Hope y'all have a great day.